Files is
Okay, but
by...
can I just go by what's on this system then? Because this is important because my house is going to fall into a courtyard, okay? So tell me, when it says here, I want to know, like, these are all the plans you've got, okay?
They say that I spoke to the senior building inspector now. He said the retaining wall is on the plan.
No, it's not on the plan.
They
Okay.
say on the house plan.
There's no retaining wall
Is that
on the
Mr.
Lord's
Wilkinson?
Fisher.
plan. No,
He's a
the
senior building
retaining
inspector.
walls are not on the plan. I've got the Rule 53 record from the
Because
courts.
I just asked him now about the
No,
retaining wall.
it's not. Okay, it isn't. Okay, so that's a lie.
I have checked. I know number 12 Victoria Road.
Yeah.
I checked the files. I checked the
Can
plans.
I have a look at the files?
It's all by legal services.
The whole
Seriously.
files
We
are
just
by
phoned
legal.
now Rousseau, Mr. Rousseau, in legal department.
Okay.
And they're sitting with everything.
We believe there are no engineer's plans. We've seen nothing, and I've been through all the files, unless there's something new. Okay. My attorney called the engineer, who's
Yes.
has to call the owner, right,
Okay.
before he can come and talk to us. The retaining walls on the boundary
Okay.
are all we want, and that the courtyard is, and the engineer certificate from the courtyard, that is not an unreasonable request. Okay, I don't care about the plans of the house, the inside of the house, all the things we're complaining about. I don't care about that. I need to know it's structurally safe. That is a reasonable
You're quite right.
request.
No,
okay,
you're quite right.
and I know the reason they're hiding this is because they don't exist, and it's just not fair. So after an exhausting effort, fight, trying to, assert my rights, being abused by the city process, being abused by their power, and, them calling me all sorts of things just because I'm fighting for my rights. It's actually criminal what they've done to me, obstructing information that I'm entitled to. Anyway, on the 24th of May 2016, I get an email from Christian Kutsi, who basically heads the city records at the interface. Hi, Miss Phillips. The city's entire record will be available. Now listen to this farce. Yeah, I'm coming to view. The full files are available to me of 58. Thank you. Basically, what we want to see is the retaining wall approved plans. Okay.
I didn't go through the box, so we have to go through the box.
Okay.
And what date was the retaining?
Okay. There's the first plans were for 01809, which is 2009.
1809, 2009.
Correct. Yeah. And then tell me, in this file, would it also have the
You can look through it. I don't know what's in the file.
This is within the Rule 53 record, but I need the approved plan. Like, this wall was built in 2013, so I need the approved plan and the engineer's detail of the west boundary wall elevation.
What year?
I'm sorry?
What year is it?
It will be 2013. Let me just check these plans and then I'll give you the dates. I've got them all. So I want the engineer's retaining wall plans. But what I need is a copy of these 2009 plans.
Okay, we'll just have to pass it on to Chris.
Is Chris not here?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, I asked for a copy of these plans.
On the transfer.
Yeah. I asked for a copy of these and it's not there. I need a copy of all these plans, the 2009.
You can't read any copies of 2009.
Why?
That was told to me.
That was told. Okay. That's okay. Can you record that, Barry? That we're not allowed to have that. Okay. I've got all these, but they're in black and white, so we're not allowed to have 2009 coloured plans. And I'm not allowed to have any copies of these documents.
No.
So why am I here? Why am I here? Because the
Thanks for making me come
the
here.
next stage is we get the police here. And I just want you to confirm with me there are no engineer drawings for 2009 plans.
Through the drawings, I don't know.
Okay, can you just check with me because I've got to record this and tell the police. So
No, you need to do it.
no, I'm just telling you.
Okay, are there engineers' drawings or not?
No, there's no engineer drawings
Okay,
here.
so then
None.
there aren't.
There are no. I mean, there's none.
So that's fine.
So you never saw any of those. We have since, but
Well, this was
we were
the
never
record
given.
that was given the last time we were here. And
So nothing's changed, but what's that one there again?
personally dwelling foundation there.
We never saw that the last time we were here.
This is part of the record.
It was, yeah, can I tell you, I voice recorded it and I went through every single document. So let's see. Okay, we never saw these when they were here. So what date is this? 22nd of the 8th. So this is 22nd of August 2012. So this is for,
Was this the plan that was never finalized? Was the one that was finalized? There was one plan that was submitted but never finalized.
I don't know, revision 5,
I don't
5.
see any council stamps on any of these.
No, there's no stamps.
So this is just submitted but never
Okay.
went anywhere.
But it's interesting that these were not in the files we saw last week. I swear on my life, were they, Barry? We never saw the. But anyway, they're not
Sandbox.
stamped.
It's
So let's say-
absolutely the same box. These plans will, they went.
But then she must. You know, I went through every single document and voice recorded it with an attorney. They weren't. I would have remembered these. But anyway, they're not stamped, so they're not approved.
they're
So
not-
so
nothing
it's
there.
irrelevant. But I just don't like all this stuff. Just keeps popping in and out of the files. But so if this was done, where are the?
What is I?
This is
So
the
there's
1809
nothing-
of
These are the ones
2009.
with the stamp there.
That's stamped.
Correct. Okay, so we've got, so that one is correct. 2009 is correct. The foundation plans, they've got no stamp approval, so there's nothing. Can you see if there's anything, any retaining wall? Sorry, you said there's no retaining wall.
I've
Any-
explained the retaining wall. There's no retaining
Yeah, there's no
wall.
retaining wall. So is there, can you do the foundation, are there any other foundation plans or? Why would these not have been signed or approved?
They were just submitted as, there's one plan that didn't go anywhere. I think that's the
Is that the latest one or the?
No, this one is dated. This one is
You
dated.
started building things right at the end, and
2, 12 and 9.
See, these are dated June and July 2012. But there's also ones, the new layout, October 2011, 25th of October 2011. When the hell was that?
This is all part of
But why is he doing new layouts when he was supposed to be a cease?
Is this in the right file?
No, this is the rock. This
It's
is.
the wrong file.
Can I tell you something?
This is how I got it.
Let me tell you something. These are the 2012 plans that he's already designed in 2010 and 2011. This is just disgusting. Do you know that? This is really upsetting me. Why did we go through all that negotiation process? He'd already drawn them.
Yeah.
Not your fault, guys. Okay, you heard it. Schnackenberg said there are no retaining wall plans. Nothing. So why did Nazim Smith tell me on the 6th of April 2016, merely a few weeks before that meeting with Emil Schnackenberg, that there were plans? Just let's remind ourselves what he said.
He said that I spoke to the senior building inspector now. He said the retaining wall is on the plan.
No, it's not on the plan.
They say on the house plan.
There's no retaining wall on the Lord's plan.
Fisher.
Okay, so another thing which I don't understand, why would the city keep engineer drawings of a plan that didn't go anywhere on record? Why would they not keep the engineer drawings of plans that did get approved? See, this doesn't make sense to me. This is where they're not telling the truth. In 2017, I got a foundation layout of revision 5. Now, this is the revision 5 engineer drawing foundation layout that I was sent in 2017, 3 years after launching my application. Now, if I had this drawing, I would never have launched the application in the way I did, because it's clear he was not building to an approved plan or the plan that I signed that we registered as a notarial deed. So let's go into the dates on this foundation layout revision 5. In the excerpt of the recording that you heard, where I was going through the foundation layout with Chris Coetzee and Emil Schneckenberg, I refer to dates being June and July 2012. And this is the revision 5 that I received in 2017. So at the top, you'll see that revision 5 is dated 22nd of the 8th, 2012, which is exactly the same date that the one that Emil Schneckenberg and Chris Coetzee showed me. There's a July 2012, a revision 4, but there's nothing for June 2012 in this foundation layout. I asked for a meeting to go through the unlawful building works, but Marks Mupara refused. Instead, he said we had to fill in a complaints form, which we did. My attorney sent the form to Marks Mupara, and he said that he would undertake a full audit of the building work on Earth 58, as well to investigate the allegations contained in the submission from your attorney. So allegedly an audit was done, and on the 18th of July 2017, I got a letter from Evan Solomons, who's the senior building inspector at City of Cape Town. He writes, "Dear Sir, Madam, your complaint received on the 7th of July 2017 refers. On the 14th of July 2017, we investigated your complaint against plan numbers 1809-2010. I'm just going to stop there because there is no such plan number. There's no such plan number. So notice was served for an alleged 4.5 metre reinforced concrete wall, allegedly abutting my property. We were discussing a drawing. He had to build to that drawing. So you can also, because that basically says that's also the retaining wall issue.
Oh.
And it explains the overall, because they just won't give me copies of plans. Here we go. This is one. Occupation certificate was issued and used thereof is in compliance with the approved plan. That was 2015. I said, you said exactly the same thing in 2014. You were wrong and unlawful works were taken away. So all of these things I'm saying here came true.
Okay, remember my request that was sent to you? I just want to know, I'm just going to confirm what's still needed and what's not needed.
Okay.
What's still needed.
Oh, I know what I want to ask you. Is they're now putting in retrospective planning, okay? And I want to appeal. How do I appeal Section 9 of the Act or Section 9 or something? So
The building plan.
yeah, so if they give me
They're supposed to look for every plan submitted. You're supposed to be informed and you're supposed to be given an opportunity to submit objections.
But he is building some stuff on the other side now.
It is new.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Okay, now for the new stuff you can object to. Look, remember in the judgment it also specifically stated this section and this section stands as is. Do you
What
understand I'm
section?
saying? Okay, in the judgment. To retain the planter on the west side of the top deck
That's fine.
floor of
Yeah,
the way
yeah, we know that.
To retain the steel, this stands as is. To retain the roof of the garage as a non-traffic
Yes.
area. That's it. That's
But-
all that
but-
I
but-
say.
but-
Those stand as is.
but we're not complaining about that. We're complaining about things that aren't on an approved plan. Like, for example, the courtyard, the boundary wall, the retaining boundary wall along my property. The swimming pool is joined to the property, which is now extended the envelope. It's got nothing to do with those sections. But the fact is, for example, in the judgment, if you read it, it says there is a 500 millimetre gap between the garage and my property. There isn't. There's a retaining wall built in between. So the judge was misled. Okay. So basically, what he says, those were the things we were complaining about at that time, because we didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah, so it's changed.
All of
basically.
it, correct. For example, in that judgment, it says the planter on the top floor is reinforced concrete. It's not. It's red brick.
Oh.
So that means the red brick can just be lifted off, The whole point with reinforced concrete is that you'd need to go up there with jackhammers.
Yeah. And
Now, and you see, the thing is, right, I've got pictures of everything that they said in court. You see, that's a brick planter.
yeah.
It's not reinforced. Right behind here, there's a concrete retaining wall, which is built under my wall. This is not on a pre-plan.
You see it, yeah.
You know, so, and by joining this to the house, that makes it, you know, one.
So you're just gonna sue them civilly for the damage during the construction?
These have
And
got no
are you
plans.
appealing? You're not appealing
No.
the judgment at
No,
all. It's a
because-
new judgment.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go on the basis of criminal acts as well, that he
Yeah.
committed fraud, perjury, forged documents, and then we
That's why
might.
you got the forensics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, you see, when you see the app, like this, it was a very important matter. I never had this. I never saw this. I didn't see it until 2014 after we'd launched. The city very clearly said they insist that advertising happens, right? He writes a motivation saying that we'd all seen the plans. We hadn't. He's changing the drawings here already in September. So this, for example, this application 167515, right? On the approved plan, it's 183068.
You showed me that
Yeah.
already.
So then he says that it was after April 2010. Well, it can't be because the extraction thing was it was the 18th of the 1st 2010. Now Theron and Ozzy Gonzalez have agreed with first respondent's version. It's just not possible. They lied under oath. This is the motivation. Now, I got this. Barry very cleverly secretly took a photograph of this a couple of days ago. Okay? So, they've now Tipex this out.
Oh gosh.
They've now Tipex that out, right? So there's the,
The place is not allowed on plans or any form of
all on the top.
government document.
Yeah,
The
it's
place is
all
not
Tipex,
allowed.
it's all Tipex out. Look, alterations and additions to house, right? So, that's for the city. So he put in an application on the 5th of the 1st, 2011, right? For 00538 at 2011. Look at this, sketch plan 00538 2011. Your sketch application dated 19th of April 2011. Where is that application from? They denied that this existed. He said he never put in a swimming pool then. He did it afterwards. 5th of the 1st, 2011. That's the number, 0053211. And he says 19th of April. They just wrote a letter. There's no application form for April 2011. The only scrutiny was done on the 10th of the 1st. So when you put the application form in on the 5th, by the time it gets to pre-scrutiny, it's about, it's the 10th, okay? Look, Gonzalez,
2012.
2012, he literally approved the plans on his own. David Richard Saunders writes an affidavit. On Monday the 7th, I conducted an inspection of the dwelling, 58, for the purposes of assessing whether all building works on site is in accordance with the approved plans for the dwelling. In my professional opinion,
Are
at
you
least.
also proceeding with perjury?
Yes.
Okay.
Look. Empty, filled in. These are all the plans they've got. Internal alterations, dwelling extension, Yet, this says new building. That's how much of the house was built. They call that a pergola. Now, they don't know I've got this. That's the building inspector. I went through all his inspection reports or dates on the computer screen. That isn't on it. but it's there.
Okay. Let me just check something.
You see, this is where the judge says it will be 500 mils away from your wall. That's illegal.
Oh, never mind. I said the end of the month. Sorry, it's going to be beginning of next month.
That's fine.
I need to.
Because I'm letting you know what I have to do.
The retrospective planning application I referred to in the meeting with Ms. Davids from the Public Protector's Office on the 9th of October 2017, Marks Mapora informed my attorney, "Dear Sir, according to our records, the application in question was withdrawn." And in the most extraordinary turn of events, on the 16th of February 2021, the city's attorneys wrote, "Mr. Bradbury submitted a building plan for the wall, which the city approved on the 1st of February 2018. The approval constituted rectification of the contravention relating to the wall. In accordance with the city's advice to Miss Phillips, her building complaint file was accordingly closed." So I launched a damages claim against the city because my property is in a state of collapse. On the 18th of November 2020, it was heard by Judge PAIA the first day. The city are basically filing exceptions because they're saying it's vague and embarrassing. They don't know how to plead. They're basically using the Stalingrad principle, rather like Zuma. So they're trying to keep this out of court. They desperately don't want to plead. There was no mention at any time of an application in February 2018. This is absolutely outrageous. And the second defendant Judge PAIA refers to is the city of Cape Town,
which is a complete answer to the totality of the claims by the plaintiff against the city in this case.
And so if that is so, could that not be pleaded?
Could it be pleaded by the plaintiff?
By the defendant, by the second defendant.
Well,
So in other words, in response to the allegations in the particulars of claim, should the second defendant, or could the second defendant not simply plead that liability is excluded in terms of the relevant legislation, the Building Act, for example?
That would still result in if the exception is good, that the Section 23 exempts the city from liability.
Yes.
Then the whole point of an exception is to avoid the need for the leading evidence and for the city being dragged into a trial to deal with all the issues of quantum and negligence and liability. When there's a legal defence, if that legal defence is a good legal defence, then that is the end of the plaintiff's case against the city. Purpose of an exception, this kind of exception, is to then dispose of the matter without needing for an entire trial.
The voice you're about to hear is from a lady called Bessie Schluppe, who works for the South African Council for the Architectural Profession, and was the investigator assigned to me by this association.
But now with these municipalities acting, they're acting as though they've really offended me by not giving me what I asked. The worst part with the city, I really think, to be honest, I think it's over for the city, and I think, I don't know, I think we've said before, I think God is just using you to actually like expose some people, because it's very obvious what happened here, and the city is in a lot of trouble, Chrissy, I don't want to lie.
And I hadn't even thought about, until you said something, that they might have to then, if this planning has been suspect, they might have to then reevaluate other plans. I didn't even think. So they've got a lot to lose, hey?
That's the thing. That's why I think even now, the way they're behaving, like I'm telling you, Chrissy, usually the city is open to us. I mean, we will ask when anything about a plan, and they will let us know. Even if you're asking for a letter, just a letter to say, can we have this letter? Can we have? They provide that to us. Even if we want annexures to everything, they provide that. They've never hit us before with an access to information up until the day I asked about your matter. It has never happened before. Even this Ayanda lady, I mean, she chose to respond now because she's thinking probably with the lockdown we won't be able to respond. I mean, she's known about this for a very long time now.